I spent a year doing everything right. 4 a.m., cold plunge, affirmations, sleep hypnosis, 14-hour days. I was outworking everybody in the room, and I was still losing. Not just in real estate. I was losing me. And then one week, without the 4 a.m., without the ice bath, without the grind, I made $14,000. I'm gonna tell you exactly how. But first, let me ask you something. Does it sound appealing at all to spend the rest of your life planning to grind 24/7, wake up at 3 a.m., sit in freezing cold ice baths, and just bully your way to success? All for people that only hit you up when they need something. Teens that make you feel like nothing but an ATM machine. A relationship that ends in divorce anyway.
No! Stop!
Anybody want to sign up for that? Because I did. I signed up for all of it. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Nobody sent you the memo. Before I get into the fishing analogy, and yes, there is a fishing analogy, I need to say something first. Nobody told you this was wrong. You learned to grind from men that you respected. Maybe it was your father, maybe it was a coach, maybe it was the first boss who took you seriously. And they weren't lying to you. They were telling you what worked for them, what worked in the era that they came up in. But you're playing a different game now, a different era. The rules changed and nobody sent you the memo. So if you've been going hard for 15, 20 years and still feel like something's missing, that is not weakness and it's not laziness. That's a man who got handed a map to a place that doesn't exist anymore. And you had the integrity to keep following it anyway. Here's the memo. Name one thing that comes to you when you chase it. Go ahead, I'll wait. Women, your kids, a good parking spot. Everything worth having in this life operates the same way. The laws of the universe are, they're universal. They don't make exceptions for how hard you're trying or how early you woke up. Here's what I know about fishing, and it ain't a lot. You can grab a spear, you can dive into the water, and you can start stabbing until something dies. That works, technically, but you'll be exhausted, you'll be soaking wet, and you'll probably catch something eventually. Or you can figure out where the fish actually are, what time they feed, what bait they want. You could drop your line in the right spot, crack open a beer, and wait. Now don't get it twisted. There's still work involved. You had to do the research on the spot. You had to learn what bait works. You had to get up and get to the water. The work didn't disappear. It just moved. And it moved into the preparation, into the becoming, into turning yourself into the kind of person that fish are attracted to. Now, the man with the spear, he's also working. He's working harder. He's just working in the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong way. The prep is the grind. You just stop grinding at the water and start grinding at yourself. Now, as a man, it is rough to accept that. Everything in us says impose your will, force the outcome, more reps, more hours, more pressure, more. And I'm not here to tell you that hard work doesn't matter, because it does. But Napoleon Hill said it himself, hard work alone will not get you there. The work has to come after alignment, not instead of it, after. That's the part I don't really hear people talking about. Except I had to lose an entire year before I finally understood what I'm about to tell you in 10 minutes. I got into real estate, I found success very fast. Not because I was grinding harder than everybody else, but because I took aligned action and things moved. And then I got into a toxic relationship and it knocked me completely off track. For over a year, I got nothing. I couldn't catch a deal to save my life. 3 deals back to back, every single one fell through. And on paper, I was doing everything right. I was up at 4 a.m. I took the cold showers, I did affirmations, I did sleep hypnosis, I did 14-hour days, more calls, more text blasts, more. And then the more tired I got, the less even came my way. I was diving in the water with a spear. I was stabbing at everything, catching nothing until I stopped. And I got quiet, I got specific. Up to that point, my goal was to get a deal. That's not a goal, that's a wish. And a vague goal is just a way of protecting yourself from the failure of a real one. And I know because I lived it. So I made a decision, not a hope, a decision. I decided I will make $50,000 in real estate by the end of the year. This is like July. That number, that deadline, that specific. A week later, I opened my inbox. Somebody that I knew reached out and wanted to sell their house and they needed help. So I helped them. 7 days after that, $14,000. No hustle, no grind, no 4 a.m., no ice bath. Now you're thinking, that's great, but you said 50,000. That's only 14. Yeah, I know, bro. Hold on. The week before that close, before the 14 even hit, I got a call to consult on a property that needed some work, but the owner didn't have any cash. So I structured a deal. My crew will do the work and we'll get paid at closing. Do you want to know how much that deal came to? $54,000. I didn't just hit the goal, I blew past it. From a decision that I made 1 week before any of it even showed up. Now, did I have to work hard on that deal? Absolutely. But I worked hard on the right thing after the solution showed up, after I made the decision, after I got in alignment. In full transparency, I barely made a profit on the flip because I had to fire mad people mid-job and ended up flipping the same house twice. But here's what I got. I got a bulletproof formula that I now own for life. People pay more than that for an education with their own money. I got a crash course and all I spent was time, worth every penny that I didn't lose. Now here's the thing about the subtraction game. We always think becoming is about what you add. It's actually about what you remove. And most people never figure that out. And it's not just about what you do. What do you believe that you have to do to deserve the outcome? Here's how you actually get in alignment. Now, I could take you down the rabbit hole of how energy works and frequencies and manifestation science, but honestly, we don't care how it works. We just care that it works. Like the Bluetooth in your car. Nobody knows how that works and nobody cares. You just want your music to play. So here's what you do. 3 moves. Move number 1, I got specific. I shut up and I went and got quiet. I pulled out a pen and a piece of paper, not on my phone, a pen and paper. And then I wrote down what I didn't want. And that list will show you exactly what you do want. I wrote that down with specificity, not I want to be wealthy. How much, by when, doing what? You see, vague goals produce vague results. And vague goals are comfortable because you can't technically fail at something that you never fully committed to. A real decision has a number on it. I wrote that number down. Move number 2, I lived from the end. This is not a trick. This is what faith actually is. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That ain't poetry. It's a methodology. So I asked myself, how would I act if this was already done? If it was already true? Who would I be? How would I think? How would I show up on a Tuesday morning when nothing has moved yet? You wouldn't have scarcity. You wouldn't be hoping. You wouldn't be complaining and scrolling and worrying. Every night before bed, I saw it done. And then I drifted off to sleep in that. And then you wake up grateful for it. It's already on the way. Like when your kids ask, can we go to Dave & Buster's? And we say yes, knowing that payday isn't till Friday. You're not worried if the check won't come. You move from the knowing, that's the state, maintain it. And when you get tested, and you will get tested, you circle back to that. It's already done. It's already on the way. Move number 3, play the subtraction game. What does the next version of you say no to? Not just at a bar, not just on the phone, but in your own mind. People want the body of a Greek god, but are still making bad food choices in the kitchen. That's the old version of you. People want wealth, but they don't save, they don't invest. People want an aligned woman, but haven't asked yourself what she actually wants. Are you a leader? Are you stable? Do you have a clear vision, and are you confident enough that she feels safe to step into that vision with you? The game of subtraction is not quitting. Subtraction is surgical. You're removing what doesn't belong on the man that you're becoming. So now you can stop waking up at 4 a.m. and diving into ice cold baths with a spear. Become the person who's smart enough to choose the right fishing spot, bait the hook, drop the line, crack the beer, and when you make that shift, don't be shocked when the fish start jumping into the boat. You already know what needs to happen. You've known for a while. The only question is whether you're going to keep performing the version of yourself that got you here, or will you make the decision that builds the one you're supposed to become? That decision starts with a number and a deadline. Write it down today, not someday, today. You see, I used to be the man with the spear. I was exhausted, wet, and stabbing at everything. And that decision changed everything. Not the hustle, the decision. So make yours.